Heartbreak is a normal part of love. There are a lot of people who date the wrong people before they find the one they want. Take Madonna as an example. Her relationship with Guy Ritchie was famous for almost 8 years. They mixed family life, movies, and music in a way that fans and the media loved. They were always seen together at fancy red carpet events, and Madonna often talked about how close they were in emotional interviews. From the outside, it looked like they were married for life. What could have gone wrong for their relationship to fall apart so quickly, even though it seemed strong? Let's dive in and learn more about this major split. First, though, let's go back in time and learn more about Madonna's life. She changed how she thought about relationships after the breakup. People who know her say she told herself that she wouldn't get too upset again because the divorce was so hard. These days, Madonna dates more like a business, so it's not likely that she'll get seriously involved with someone or form a strong bond. The people she works with are more or less just part of her team. A source close to her says that she's been handling her love life this way since she broke up with Guy Ritchie 20 years ago. But what really happened between them that made Madonna the person she is now? She's been seeing Ake Morris, a soccer player who is 28 years old lately. Some reports say that their new friendship seems to be based on transactions, and a source close to her said that he works as her helper and is always there for her when she needs something. He takes care of her and the kids, writes down ideas when she has a quick inspiration, and writes her emails even when it's late at night. She is very strict with everyone, and the fact that he shares her bed with her doesn't make her treat him differently. That also means he can't watch TV or go to bed before she does. He has to wake up with her and follow her diet. She'd rather he keep her stuff on his phone. It doesn't look like it's easy to be Madonna's guy. There must be a reason why she likes it this way, even though it takes a lot of work. That being said, let's get to know Madonna better. Since the day she was born, August 16, 1958, her childhood was not like most. Madonna was proud to be Italian American because she grew up in a strict Catholic home with Italian and French Canadian roots. During her growing years, she went through a lot of sadness and impressive drive. Growing up, Madonna lived in a busy home where her dad, Silvio Tony Sacanoi, worked as an optical engineer, and her mom, Madonna Ferrone, ran the family. But things got hard for Madonna when she was only 5 years old. Madonna didn't fully understand what was going on when her mom was told she had breast cancer. It was hard for her mom to take care of her 6 kids while getting weaker and weaker. Madonna's mom died in 1963, which was a very sad event in her life. She thought about this loss a lot. In the end, she said that she spent a lot of her time trying to get her mom's love back by chasing after attention and praise. Her desire to stand out had a big impact on her life. Madonna grew up in the neighborhoods of Detroit, especially in Pontiac and Rochester Hills. She was a sad girl, but she was also becoming a very strict person. As the third of 6 children, after Anthony, Martin, Paula, Christopher, and Melanie, she was driven from a young age. So that she would have a structured life, her dad signed her up for traditional piano classes. But Madonna had other ideas. She talked him into letting her take dance lessons, which is where she found herself. The ballet master she had, Christopher Flynn, saw her ability right away and told her she could do great things. He told her she looked like the sweetest child ever and encouraged her to become a dancer. This started a dream that would take her from Michigan to stages all over the world. Madonna was an excellent student at Rochester Adams High School. She did well in both school and sports and gave everything she did her all. She got a dance scholarship to the University of Michigan after high school in 1976 and even learned to dance at the American Dance Festival in North Carolina for a summer. but she knew right away that the normal college route wasn't right for her. She made a big decision in 1978 when she was only 19. She quit college and went to New York City with only $35.00 in her pocket. It was the first time I'd ever taken a plane and the first time I'd ever been in a taxi, she said, reflecting on that crazy and scary event. I had $35.00 with me when I came here. I had never been so brave. It was hard for people to follow their dreams in New York, and Madonna had her fair share of problems. She did hard work like at Dunkin' Donuts, where she famously fired after just one day for squirting jelly at a customer. She worked hard as a coat check worker and even posed for naked art lessons to make money. She didn't want to, but she had to. Madonna engaged herself in New York's lively music and art scene while she was working these jobs. At first, she played drums in the band Breakfast Club. Later, she became famous as a singer. She came up with her own style, which is a mix of fierce drive, street smarts, and bold creativity during this tough time. Even though Madonna had been working hard for years, her first big break came in 1982. Everybody was her first song, which came out on Sire Records. It didn't become a huge hit right away, but it quickly became famous in New York's dance clubs. After the song did well, she released her self-titled debut album in 1983. Hits like Holiday and Borderline were released on this record. But it wasn't just her music that got people's attention. It was also how she looked, how charismatic she was, and how brave she was. Madonna was sending a strong message with her lace gloves, tons of different ornaments, messy hair, and wild spirit. When Like a Virgin came out in 1984, it was the real big break. Along with her brave performance at the MTV Video Music Awards, the title track made her a worldwide star. She broke the rules in a way that no other female artist had done before. She wore a white wedding dress and rolled around the stage. Some people were angry, but millions were captivated. From then on, she kept going up. Hits like Papa Don't Preach and Open Your Heart from her third album, True Blue, showed that she could combine catchy songs with bold, controversial themes. After that came Like a Prayer in 1989, which pushed the edges even more. A lot of people didn't like the music video for the title track, which had religious symbols, burning crosses, and love between people of different races. The Vatican even spoke out against her. Even though it caused a lot of trouble, the record was a huge hit. In the 1990s, Madonna was not only the biggest name in music, but she was also making waves in Hollywood. In movies like Desperately Seeking Susan and Evita, she was so good that she won a Golden Globe for. Her impact on fashion was also huge. Think of Jean-Paul Gaultier's famous cone bras and how her styles changed all the time. She was always changing, which kept fans and enemies on their toes with each new phase. Fate had other ideas for Madonna than the love she thought she had found. Madonna had some famous relationships before she met Guy Ritchie. These relationships got as much attention as her singing. Like a Virgin singer knew what it was like to be in love while being in the public eye. Every relationship she was in was front-page news. Her first marriage was to star Sean Penn. It was an emotional union that didn't last long. They got married in 1985, which was also the year that Madonna released her record, True Blue. In the side notes, she written a sweet note to Penn, calling him the coolest guy in the world. Universe. They did a lot of big things for each other in their relationship, like when Penn sat in the sand for hours making a big heart for Sarah's birthday. It wasn't all sunshine, though. There were some rough spots in their friendship. If you remember, Penn was arrested in 1986 for hitting a photographer who was trying to take a shot of them on their vacation. In the end, their crazy love story ended with a split in 1989, ending one of the most crazy marriages in Hollywood history. Madonna wasn't afraid to look for love, even when her life went up and down. Not long after that, she became interested in Warren Beatty, who is also a famous actor. From 1989 to 1990, they worked together on the movie Dick Tracy. She played the attractive, breathless Mahoney, and he played the lead. It was clear that they were meant to be together, and they quickly became a couple. Their glamorous red carpet appearances made news. It didn't last long, though, like many of her other relationships. In an interview in 1991, Beatty talked about how hard it was for him to deal with Madonna's never-ending need for fame and the constant attention the media paid to her. Then Madonna made things worse by dating Vanilla Ice in 1991. Many people were shocked when they saw this news, especially since the Queen of Pop was now dating a young rapper known for Ice Ice Baby. During their short relationship, they went on public dates and held hands a lot, but things didn't work out. Later, Vanilla Ice talked about how he ended things with Madonna after her 1992 book Bold had some sexy pictures of the two of them together. He thought it was too much and said it was uncool. Carlos Leon came next, which was a whole different vibe. It was more private and quiet between them. They got together in 1994 and had their daughter Lourdes in 1996. She seemed to focus on being a mom for a while and take a break from the drama of her ex-lovers. Even though her relationship with Carlos didn't last long after Lourdes was born, they were able to parent together and stay friendly. By the late 1990s, Madonna was changing as a person and as an artist. During this time, she met director Guy Ritchie through friends they both had, like Sting and Trudy Styler in 1998. This relationship was different from the ones she had before. Madonna often talked about how Ritchie made her life more stable and funny, which was a nice change from the crazy relationships she'd been in before. The way they walked the red carpet together showed that they were really into each other. Ritchie was often seen leaning in to say something to Madonna. It would make her laugh out loud, and she would lean into him in a way that felt extra warm. She couldn't stop talking about how funny he was, how manly he was, and how safe he made her feel in interviews. They had a fast time of it. In August 2000, they had their son, Rocco. A few months later, they got married in a dream wedding at Skibo Castle in Scotland. The British upper class and famous people were all there for the fancy event. Ritchie looked cute in a kilt, and Madonna looked like a bride from a fairy tale in a beautiful Stella McCartney dress. At that time, Madonna, the biggest pop star, and Ritchie, the most cutting-edge director, were seen as a powerhouse pair. Their marriage seemed to work well for years because of their different ways. Madonna got used to living in the English countryside. She gave up lavish parties in Hollywood for horseback rides and the charm of the countryside. Fans even noticed that she learned to speak with a British accent. Ritchie liked being in the spotlight when she was with Madonna, but he kept it low-key when he was being interviewed. Madonna said her friendship was unique and real, like she'd never felt a link like it before. Things started to go wrong in their life that seemed great as time went on. They had a great mix of personalities at first, but when their marriage ended in 2008, things got very tense. She was shocked by the end of a love story she thought would last forever. It wasn't just another famous split. Madonna won a Golden Globe for Best Actress. But did you know she said she'd never act again? That came as a big surprise for someone who wowed people in Desperately Seeking Susan and Evita. What made the queen of pop, who was always changing things, decide to leave Hollywood? The answer lies in one of her most well-known bad movies. When Madonna and Guy Ritchie got married in Scotland in 2000, they wanted to work together on a movie project right away. It didn't work out well for either of them, though. Swept Away, which came out in 2002, was based on the 1974 Italian movie Swept Away by an Unusual Destiny in the Blue Sea of August. Madonna played Amber Layton in the version. The first version was a cult favorite that made sharp social points and showed complex power relations, but Madonna and Ritchie's version just didn't do it justice. There is a story about a spoiled lady named Amber who gets stuck on an island by herself with a rough around the hedges fisherman played by Adriano Giannini, whose dad was in the original movie. As a remake of a classic, the movie really misses the mark when it comes to exploring themes of class struggle and romance that comes out of the blue. Anaconda had two big laugh returns to appeal to the audience. Swept Away on Rotten Tomatoes, Swept Away only got a 5% approval rate, with reviewers saying it was confusing and lacked the political context of the original. Roger Ebert said that Madonna and her husband, Guy Ritchie, turned a movie about power into a boring show of self-indulgence. The New York Times called it an ego project that went badly wrong. It was hard for even die-hard Madonna fans to support the movie. It also did badly at the box office. It cost $10 million, 0 cents to make, but it only made about half of that. It made about $30,000, 0 cents in its first weekend and about $1, 0 cents overall. 36 million around the world. It was so bad that theaters pulled it after only 3 weeks, making it one of the worst movies of the decade at the box office. It was also a rough award season. It won the Worst Picture Award at the 2002 Stinker Bad Movie Awards. Madonna and Giannini won Worst Actress and Worst On-Screen Couple. The next year, it got more bad news at the Razzie Awards, where it won for Worst Picture and Worst Remake or Sequel. For Die Another Day, Madonna won for Worst Actress and Worst Supporting Actress. Ritchie also got Worst Director, which made the movie even more of a joke in Hollywood. So many people didn't like Madonna, she even said she was quitting acting. What she thought would be a fun project to do with her husband turned out to be a huge joke. Madonna was known for pushing herself to new limits and starting over, but when she became a mother, she did it with the same fierce determination she had for her work. She had 6 kids, 2 biological, Lourdes and Rocco, and 4 adopted. She wasn't just a worldwide star anymore. That changed when she tried to adopt David Banda in 2006. It caused a big stir. Some people said she was abusing her fame to get around Malawi's slow court system and speed up the adoption process. Things went wrong in Ritchie's marriage. Madonna's work was marked by high-energy shows and unwavering drive, which didn't leave much room for the quieter life her husband supposedly wanted. He told her, "We'd love to spend more time together," but Ritchie found this situation harder and harder to deal with. He was used to being in charge on set because he was a great director, but in his marriage, Madonna often made him feel less important. Ritchie liked a quieter life, even though she captivated thousands of people on stage. After the fact, a close friend of the couple said, "From the start, they were polar opposites. Madonna loved her high-energy millionaire life, while Guy was laid back and not into big gestures. Guy and Madonna wanted their marriage to work, so Madonna tried to adjust. But their differences were clear." A close friend said that she was juggling motherhood, marriage, and her business, which is a problem that many women, famous or not, can relate to. In an interview, Madonna herself said that juggling her work and personal life was hard. She thought about this fight and said, It was the hardest thing, the toughest battle. Even now, it's hard for me to figure out how to be a mother and do my job. So, what caused them to split up? They broke up not because of one problem, but because of a number of problems that built up over time. Madonna's close friendship with New York Yankees star Alex Rodriguez, Ritchie's doubts about Kabbalah, their different views on fame, and even their differences about Madonna's strong devotion to Kabbalah, a mysterious Jewish religion, all made things more difficult between them. Ritchie was never really sure about it. In an honest interview with the UK's Observer magazine in 2008, Ritchie said, "I don't really understand Kabbalah as a religion or a belief system. This was also a big deal." A reporter asked Ritchie, "Would you work on another movie with your wife?" He said, "I don't know, never say never." The people liked Madonna a lot, and she thought Ritchie would be a part of that. She asked him to go to important events with her, but he refused. She cared more about being famous, while he liked staying out of the spotlight. A close friend made it clear that Ritchie liked a quieter life, while Madonna liked the busy and famous life. Over the course of their friendship, Madonna started to wonder if real love exists. She started to think deeply about love while writing the movie Swept Away after being married for 10 years. When you begin, everything is wonderful, and the person you've married seems perfect, and you feel perfect, she added. When Madonna left Guy Ritchie, she lost a lot of money. She was one of the richest women in show business. She was worth about $490 million, 0 cents, when they broke up, which is about $700 million, 0 cents now. News stories say she had to pay Ritchie between $60 million, 0 cents, and $92 million, 0 cents, to end their marriage. A spokesman said the amount was between $76 million, 0 cents, and $92 million, 0 cents. But the BBC said it was a little less. When their teenage son Rocco chose to stay with his dad in London while Madonna was on tour, things got a little out of hand because Rocco didn't want to go back to the US with her. This caused a lot of trouble with the law. He got a lot of attention from the media, and Rocco seemed stressed out from all the trouble. At the end of December 2015, a judge in Manhattan told both Madonna and Ritchie to make things right. She and Ritchie have both moved on since then. Madonna keeps killing it in the music business. She's always changing her look and adding to her family by adopting more children. Ritchie married model Jackie Ansley in 2015, and the two of them have 3 children together. It's clear that Madonna and Guy Ritchie's marriage had a lot of drama, emotion, and moments that will never be forgotten.